Hello everybody, it's Gary Halakan here, and today we're looking at the Legend Creation Android 21 figure. This is, of course, a character from the Dragonball FighterZ video game. I'm not sure if it's FighterZ or FighterZ. I never really played it very much, so you tell me in the comments which it's supposed to be. But you'll notice that there is no mention of Dragon Ball anywhere on this box. So this is based on the SH Figuarts version of this figure, and the box is almost exactly the same artwork on the back as you'd see on the SH Figuarts. However, this figure is simplified from that version. So you see these poses here in the artwork. This figure cannot do those. It can do some poses, but cannot do anything with the wild leg poses like that, because it is actually simplified. It's definitely based on the sculpt of the SH Figuarts. I've seen some reviews of that figure, and this is definitely based on the sculpt of that, but they have taken out some of the joints, and so this actually has less articulation than the real SH Figuarts would have. I don't think I've seen that before. I have a few other fake Figuarts and fake Figmas, and I don't think they've ever been simplified. I think they have just been cheap and flimsy, right? But I think they've maintained all of the joints that the original had. But this one is actually simplified, so that's kind of interesting to see. Because of that, of course, though, it's much cheaper. This was priced at about $15 on Temu, and that is compared to the $70 or so that you might pay for the real one, the real SH Figuarts one. All right, so let's get her out of the box and see what we think. Okay, so here's Android 21 right out of the package. The tail has to be put on when you take it out of the package, and it didn't really want to fit too well, but I think it's in there pretty good now, so it doesn't seem too bad. Initial feel of the figure right out of the package, it doesn't feel bad. The plastic quality seems to be pretty good. The only thing that's really loose right out of the package is the back of the hair, and of course this back hair piece is really heavy and chunky too, so it does make the figure pretty back heavy. She's not going to stand up very well on her own here. I'm kind of using the tail a little bit to balance her there, but I think that's an issue with the real SH Figuarts as well. There she goes. So back of the hair is the only thing that really feels loose initially here, but most of the plastic doesn't feel too bad. Most of the paint is fairly okay. There's not a whole lot of it, but what there is doesn't seem to be too bad. There's the belt, there's the nails and the ring, and those are painted pretty good. There's earrings, and most of that paint isn't bad. There's a few places, like down in these rings here on her feet, where it's definitely a little bit sloppy, but for the most part, okay. So aesthetically, this isn't too bad. It looks pretty much like the real one. If you were to be standing a long way away, or if you just took a glance at it, you would probably mistake it for the real SH Figuarts figure. There's not too much wrong with it aesthetically, but there's some weird discolorations is kind of the weird thing aesthetically with it. So I don't know how well you can see it, but her shoulders are the wrong color. It looks like she's got regular old leftover flesh color shoulders, as opposed to the more pink, bright pink that her skin is supposed to be. But the other thing that's weird color-wise is there are some places, and I don't know how well they'll show up on camera, but on her stomach, on her back here, where there's some yellowish brown marks, it seems like. So I don't know if that's just paint rubbing off from other areas, but there's definitely some places like that on her. And the pants just straight up look dirty. The pants have some sort of brown coloring on them, and they look mostly just dirty. I'd say aesthetically the worst thing about this is the back of the knees, because those joints are exposed in there, but that would be an issue with the real figure as well. So overall, aesthetically, it's not bad. There's just some weird color things and some weird dirt or some sort of other discoloration on the pants there. Okay, so let's see about articulation. And as I mentioned, it's definitely simplified from the real figure, so she's not going to be able to do most of the poses that it shows on the box. So the head can't really do much of anything. That's mostly because of the hair. So you can move the hair back, but the head still won't look up really at all, and the hair will just flop down again. Look down, maybe a little tiny bit, not really very much. Can turn side to side, okay, no problems there, and not really any tilt at all at the head. So not too much you can do at the head. Shoulders will go up that far, so that's pretty good. They'll go around, of course. Swivel up here at the top of the arm. They go forward and back just a little bit. Elbow, only about 90 degrees, maybe a little past 90 degrees. You can't really go any further with the elbow, or else it will pop off of the ball joint here. But that's not too bad. Hands, swivel, of course, and they're on a hinge. The hinge doesn't seem to go very far back and forth, but they are on a hinge there. Okay, so joint at the chest, but it doesn't really do very much. Doesn't really crunch forward very much at all. Leans back just a tiny little bit. Side to side isn't too bad. So we can lean side to side, and of course can rotate at that joint. When you add in the joint at the waist, you get only about that far crunch forward. Get a little more lean back when we add in the joint at the waist, but not really very much lean back. Leaning side to side is quite good when we include the waist joint. And then, of course, can twist at the waist. If we look at the tail here, so the tail can go up and down, turn all around here. Can turn, go up and down, and it also has a joint right here in the middle. Just a rotational joint there. So a little bit in the tail. So it's the legs here that are kind of the most interesting part, because they're very simplified from the real figure. If you watch reviews of this figure, and if you look at the pictures on the box, you'll see that the legs go out, right? So you can basically do the whole splits. This one, not at all. These legs, this one comes off fairly easy, are just on a ball joint here. So we can't do any of that. The legs are very simplified. You can see the ball joint in here will go up and down a little bit. So we can pull the leg down and get a better front kick with it. But otherwise, that's it. Legs will not go out at all. And you notice this ridge right here. That ridge is there because in the original SH Figuarts, there's a joint right there. And we have a thigh swivel. But for this one, the thighs and hips here are all one solid piece. So they copied this from the sculpt of the SH Figuarts, but took the joint out. So we have no thigh swivel there. So like I said, we can pull the leg down a little bit, and that gets us a pretty good front kick, more than 90 degrees front kick, and the leg will go back quite a ways, so that's not bad. But like I said, it won't really do anything else. It won't swivel or anything. We have double jointed knees, but that's they're only going to go about that far, so basically 90 degrees there on the double jointed knees. But this isn't too bad. You get a little bit of posability with the legs here. And to me, at least, some of the complaints that I saw in reviews on the SH Figuarts of this one was that the legs are designed kind of strangely. And that's part of trying to make these baggy harem pants and sculpt them as something that can be articulated. And so I think making them more limited almost makes them look better and looks more cohesive as pants. But then, of course, you don't get all the posing. So down at the feet, they've got pretty good range of motion. Angle in, angle out, twist side to side. Can't really go, I can go up a little bit. Can point down pretty good. And then bend at the toes. So the feet, pretty good. So overall, articulation isn't bad, but it's not really, it's definitely limited. It's not the same as the original would have had. So I find that kind of interesting there. Okay, next we'll look at accessories. Okay, so for accessories, she comes with 3 different faces with different expressions and 7 extra hands. and a little tiny donut here. So unfortunately, she doesn't really come with a hand for holding the donut. It doesn't look like. She mostly comes with kind of martial arts style hands and wide open hands. So we see a little tiny donut there. From what I understand, these are the same accessories that came with the SH Figuarts version. So as far as the faces go, we've got the face that's on her, which is just kind of a neutral face. She is kind of looking to the side a little bit. We have this one, where looks to be pretty much the same, but she's looking to the other side. We have a wide open mouth, yelling face. And then we have the face with the blue eyes. So, like I said, I haven't played the game very much, but I know she changes forms a couple times in the game, so that's probably has something to do with that. And the faces are pretty simple to switch. Let's take off the front of her hair, and then we can pull the face off, and then you have a very strange, definitely monstrous look there. And then we'll just plug on the other face and plug the front of her hair back on, and there we go. So faces, very easy to switch. Like I said, 7 extra hands, and they should be fairly easy to switch too. So just pop off the ball joint. And so the leg fell off as I tried to put the hand on. So they might not be as easy to get on because the ball joint wants to move as you're trying to snap the hand on. That one doesn't seem like it wants to fit. And then the forearm came off too. So that's often the issue with these fake type figures, is the hands and the tolerances on some of the joints aren't as good as they should be. So not everything always fits exactly the way that it should. But anyway, she has 7 extra hands. Mostly they're wide open hand kind of poses. We'll see if we can get the original hand back on. Might be easier said than done. There we go. All right, I did get the original hand back on her here. Okay, so that's it for accessories. That's the same as what the original figure comes with. It's not too bad. I mean, it'd be nice if she had a hand specifically for holding the donut. But, you know, for a martial arts fighter, she doesn't really need any other accessories than that. Okay, next we'll look at some size comparisons. Okay, for size comparisons, here is Android 21 with the real SH Figuarts of The Rock. So he's quite a bit taller than her. I'm not sure how tall she's supposed to be in the show or anything. I think most of the Dragon Ball characters are kind of short. I don't have any Dragon Ball SH Figuarts, unfortunately. So you can see here The Rock is kind of skinny for being The Rock, but he's quite a bit taller than her. But they should be, both being SH Figuarts, should be in similar scale. Here she is with Star Wars Black Series Reva. So she's also shorter as well. So it looks like she's going to be a little bit smaller than your Black Series or Marvel Legends or any of those. Here she is with the Mortal Kombat 11 Shadow of Spawn figure. And I was going to review that one because it's a really good figure, but everybody else has reviewed it already. So I didn't worry about it. You can watch all of them. But you can see he's much larger. He is, of course, in the 7-inch scale, as all the McFarlane Toys figures are, as opposed to the 6-inch scale that the Hasbro figures and the SH Figuarts are meant to be in. And then, of course, here she is with a 12-ounce beverage can. So she's just about the same height as a 12-ounce beverage can. Her hair goes a little bit taller than that. And here she is, as always, with John Cena. So he's kind of more in the 7-inch scale as well. So she's much smaller than John Cena there. Okay, so that's the Legend Creation Android 21 figure based on the Bandai SH Figuarts Android 21 figure. So it doesn't look too bad, it doesn't feel too bad, and it can get in some decent poses, but it is very definitely simplified and lower quality than the real one would be. So let me know in the comments if you have this figure, or if you have any other like it, or if you have the real SH Figuarts, or if you have the SH Figuarts of The Rock, or if you have Black Series Reva, or if you have Mortal Kombat Shadow of Spawn. Let me know in the comments if you've got any of those, and we'll see you in the next review.